Hi, my name is Jenny Southard and I am the coordinator for the University Speaking Center. And today I'd like to take a few minutes to remind you about some things maybe you already heard about from your previous visit to the Speaking Center, or maybe some new things that will be helpful to you as you begin your process of working with your groups and creating your roundtable dialogue. So you'll see here that we are at the University Speaking Center's homepage, which is at speakingcenter.uncg.edu. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is how to navigate our website and where you can find some really important and neat things that will be very helpful to you. So if you see here under Support For, we have a tab that's dedicated to you, the students. So when you click on that, we have some things over here on the left-hand side. One thing that I like to point out to you is the Resources tab. So you can see here that there's quite a few things that you could scroll through and look at, but I want to bring to your attention this tab on tip sheets. So we at the University Speaking Center love tip sheets because we know that sometimes you just need a quick reminder of some things about your public speaking and group work experience. So we have it broken down for you. There are quite a few tip sheets under these different headings, but let's go scroll on down to the section that is headed Group. So you can see there it's broken down into the group speech process and also group cohesion. If you are having trouble thinking about how do I outline for my group dialogue, what do I need to think about, my team is not working together, how can I make my team more cohesive? Maybe you're in the process of creating a group contract. We even have a tip sheet for group contracts. But that's how you navigate to our tip sheet section. The next thing that I want to show you is our chat box. So we'll go back home to the home page of the website. If you scroll down just a little bit, there's a chat box here that says chat with us, and you can see here that we're available. So if you just wanted to shoot us a quick message to ask us, hey, how can I find a tip sheet on transitions? We will have someone, if we're available, there to answer that question for you, and even can send you a link. We don't take appointments on the chat box, but we can answer your quick questions there. All right. The next thing that I want to talk to you today about is the parts of the group discussion. So that's something that we get asked about quite frequently. And so I'm going to take us back to that tip sheet section because I think it would be helpful for you to use the tip sheet about how to write the group dialogue. So we're going to go back under that group section. And right here where it says writing a group dialogue outline. So in this tip sheet, this is helpful to you in thinking about what goes where and the parts that you'll need to think about as you go through your dialogue. Now keep in mind that your instructor may ask you to do things a little bit different, but this may be a good place for you to start. So you can see that we have even included here where each speaker would need to input their information and what role the moderator might feel. So you may be thinking, what does a moderator do? Well, in most cases, the moderator serves as sort of like the spine or the backbone of your speech, so to speak. So they would do the things like provide the introduction. They would help include the transitions so that there would be natural smooth flow from one speaker to the next. They would provide internal summaries and reviews and provide additional background information where that might be needed. And then they would also help us with facilitating the question and answer portion, both between the speakers themselves and at the end when we open it up for the audience. So this tip sheet can be very helpful for you for understanding the different parts that go into the speech, where you can include transitions, and it will also help you keep on track when you're thinking about overall group cohesion, because you don't want to sit up there and look like you have 4 or 5 individual speakers. This is a group discussion, and so it needs to seem like you are all working together and that you are talking to each other. So you'll want to think about those things. So you might be asking yourself, what can the Speaking Center do for me? So in addition to our visit with you in your classroom, where we'll be workshopping with you a little bit, we also, of course, provide consultations to you. You have probably experienced one type of consultation, which was the video review, but we do work with your groups. So up here where we have services, we have face-to-face consultations and online. So we can work with your group to do your organization, or if you're ready to practice, we can work with you on that. So I'll highlight here that just reminding you that we do have a 2-day policy that states that we must work with you for the first time at least 2 days prior to your final presentation date. So when you decide that you want to work with us, how can you make that appointment? So again, I mentioned to you that we don't take consultations online, but you can call us to make your appointment. And our telephone number is down here, but it is 336-256-1346, and you can call there to make your appointment. And we are available quite a few hours during the week. We're open 6 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7. You can see that here. Friday, 9 to noon. And then we even have some Sunday hours from 4 to 8. Now, I do want to tell you that we will be closed for reading day and that we have limited hours during the exam week, but we are here to help you. So if you want to get some additional support from the Speaking Center, please give us a call, schedule your appointment, and we'd love to work with you.
Hi everybody, this is Rachel Sanders from the University Libraries. I am the librarian for Communication Studies 105. A lot of you probably remember me from your classes. So I just want to review some things that you learned about during your library instruction sessions, just to make sure that we're all on the same page coming into this workshop. So this is your library guide. The link is here. It's uncg.libguides.com/CST105. And I will make sure that this link and the Speaking Center link are at the end of this video for you. Then I want to show you a couple features here just to remind you. This is me. You can email me. My email address is here. You can also use this button. You can come by my office. I'm in Jackson Library, room 152C. You can schedule an appointment using this button and choose a time that works for you. You can also use this chat box. Feel free to chat with a librarian anytime. Even if it's not me who's answering you, you can definitely get some good advice and help. A couple other things. We're going to come back to this homepage. This is where a lot of the sources we're going to work with are. But I want to show you, we have a whole tab on evaluating sources. Remember the ABCs: authority and accuracy, bias and currency. And this is actually, if you click the little pop-out link, you can download this chart to kind of help you remember those steps. Also a couple just other resources, tips for evaluating sources here. You do need APA style citations. So the APA style tab has examples of how to do all sorts of different types of citations in APA style here. There's also a video on how to do that. And we also have up here links to APA Style Central, which is a really great resource that the library has access to, and you can get access to it for free. I like the Learn tab. Got lots of guides, tutorials, and I click back a few times though. I want to show you, speaking of tutorials, if you click on that tab, here's a guide on looking for books, evaluating information. One database that we're going to actually review today, there's a longer tutorial here, Academic Search Complete. That's where you're going to find all types of articles, including if you need peer-reviewed articles. That's a really great place to look. Newspapers, citations, so lots of handy information for you here. I'm going to go back to the Home tab now. I want to review 3 databases with you. I think most of us would have covered this in class together, but just in case. Under Finding Sources for Persuasive Speeches. So I want to, also I know that we've moved on from your persuasive speech assignment, but I think these are still relevant for your roundtable dialogues. We're going to take a look at one called Opposing Viewpoints in Context. So Opposing Viewpoints in Context is one of my favorite databases. What it does is it takes issues that folks are talking about and puts them into resource pages, basically. So if we want to talk about offshore drilling, for instance, I'm going to click on it. And here's a page full of resources on offshore drilling. We've got different types of articles here, including some academic journals, some of which might be peer-reviewed. Just a couple things for reference: videos, interviews, magazine articles, websites, lots and lots of things here. If you do not see the topic that you're interested in On the home page, you can click on Browse All Topics, and here's a big list. Pretty much everybody should be able to find something here that's at least somewhat connected to the topic that you are doing. So I wanted to show you that. I think it's really helpful. I'm going to go back to your guide. Now, what a lot of you were required to do for your persuasive speech assignment was to find those peer-reviewed articles. And if you do not remember what peer review is or how that process works, I will post a link to that video that explains it at the end of this particular video. It's a great resource from the NC State libraries. But we're going to look in Academic Search Complete, so I'm going to click on that. And let's just say I'm interested in global warming. Okay. Now, global warming is also known as climate change, right? So I'm going to click on that. What I'm telling the system is to find me articles that mention the phrase global warming or the phrase climate change. I'm also interested in, let's see, the Arctic. Spelling is important. I want to look at the effects of global warming on the Arctic environment. And then I'm also going to search for wildlife. Wildlife, another word for that is animals. Okay. I'm also going to include the word environment because it suggested it. Why not? And I'm going to see what I get. So I'm saying, okay, find me articles that include the phrase global warming or climate change. They also have to have the word Arctic, and they also have to have either wildlife or animals or environment. And I'm going to click search. And I got 1,226 results. Now I'll tell you, your search does not have to be this complicated. I could have just put in global warming and Arctic and wildlife, and I would probably get some very different results. As a matter of fact, let's take a look. All right. I took out a bunch of those or terms, so I'm going to narrow the number of results that I get. I'm pretty sure it'll be less than this. Yeah, we ended up with 161. So if you're having trouble finding sources, adding those extra keywords can really, really help you. But if you're overwhelmed with the amount of information you're getting, you can certainly take keywords out. I'm also going to use filters on the left side to help me. I'm going to click limit to full text. And that is going to limit these results to things that are readily available through the library's database digitally. So that narrowed it down even more. I'm also going to limit by publication date. I only want to see things from the last few years. I'm down to 21. So you're going to see lots of different types of publications here. Not all of you are required to use peer-reviewed articles for this assignment. You need to check with your instructor. So you could look at magazine articles if you don't have that requirement. But if you do have to have peer-reviewed stuff, you're going to click on this limit to scholarly journals. We're down to 17. If I see something I like, I'm going to click on the title. And there's the PDF. And you can download it, send it to yourself. Don't forget we have the cite tool. And there's your APA style citation. Although I can tell you right now there are multiple mistakes in that citation, so you're going to want to compare it to the APA style guide that's on your LibGuide that I showed you at the beginning of the video. You can also send a link to yourself by clicking permalink. Okay, and copy that. You don't want this link up here. You can also email it to yourself. A number of different options there. And I'm back on your guide's homepage. That was a very simple overview, a very quick overview of these resources. You're going to want to spend some time going through them yourselves and really making sure that you're understanding and finding the information you need. And if you need help, right here you can get all kinds of support. The libraries are here to help you. We want to help you, and we hope that you will ask if you have any questions. So again, this is Rachel, and my contact information as well as Jenny's will be at the end of this video. Thanks for watching.